In Georgia, on December 31st, 2016, a woman named Daisha Fincher was pulled over by Monroe County officers for having a dark tint on her windows. Now, it was concluded that the tint did not violate any law in Georgia.
Story over, right?
It should be the story over.
We're done with the story,
No,
right?
we're not done. So
dang.
a search was performed on her vehicle for some reason. Maybe the officers asked and she provided them access to it, what have you. But they did perform a search on her vehicle. And in the vehicle, they found a suspicious bag on the floor. And they believed that it contained drugs. So they did test it. They have a little device called the NARC-2 roadside kit.
NARC-2.
The NARC-2.
This ain't a joke, y'all.
No, it's not a joke.
This roadside drug test kit
is
called the NARC-2. This is put out by a company. What's the name of this company?
Searchy.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
NARC-2.
NARC-2 roadside kit.
I guess it's the second one, because I guess the first one was NARC-1.
I guess they upgraded it. But anyway, so they have this device, so this little kit that they can test substances on and see what see what the results are. And this kit tested this substance that was in this suspicious looking bag, and it came out positive for methamphetamine. So she was arrested. She was arrested and charged with trafficking and possession of methamphetamine with the intent to distribute. Over a week later, on January 11, 2017, Fincher appeared in court for her first bond hearing, and the judge set it at $1 million cash bond. So at this point, you may wonder, why in the hell are we, doing this story? I mean, of course, if anybody has seen any other previous show with us talking about the war on drugs, we are very opposed to the war on drugs. We're very opposed to people having prison sentences, long prison sentences, or even any prison sentence because of a non-violent drug offense. But this case is much like any other case across the United States of America in which many people are arrested for drug possession or the intent to sell.
Yeah, this drug war kind of predicates officers to create situations where they search for drugs, look for excuses.
Right.
Essentially, that's what most searches are for. They're looking for drugs, and they are willing to create or fabricate any situation or any lie or justify justify what they believe in their imagination to create probable cause.
So this is some footage of her being stopped, and you can see the substance sliding across the officer's hood as well. So the story gets interesting here. March 15, 2017, a Monroe County grand jury returned an indictment against Fincher for trafficking methamphetamine and possession of methamphetamine. But just days later, on March 22nd, she was cleared in the case. The GBI issued a report finding that there was no controlled substances in the blue material. It was, as Fincher maintained all along, cotton candy.
Oh.
So she always professed her innocence. When she was stopped, she told them it was cotton candy. When she was brought to the court, she said it was cotton candy. I'm sure all along she said she was not guilty of trying to traffic any illegal substance. It was just cotton candy in a bag. Over 3 months later, some more advanced testing proved her right.
So she had that other sticky icky.
Yeah.
She had the other sticky icky.
Yeah. The sticky icky you eat.
The sticky icky you eat.
Yeah.
So who would have thought that a trip to the fair, a trip to the local fair would turn out like this?
She got arrested and imprisoned for over 3 months for having cotton candy in her car. Now she was released in April of 2017.
Maybe these mugs just watch too much TV. Maybe they watched too much TV and they thought they were about to take down some big meth deal. Maybe they thought they ran into Skylar White. You know what I'm saying? And they thought they just was about to take down this just massive meth syndicate.
Had a Walter White type
yeah,
person,
man. They thought, they ran into Skylar, boy. But I mean, think about the the mindset that they had to have to take the situation where they thought someone's tent was too dark and turn it into a search.
Like, why the need to even search the vehicle?
That's
you
not
wanted to do
that's
something
not
there.
probable cause.
No, it isn't.
For a search. And let's just say the windows did test to be too dark. What happens after that?
You get a citation.
And you go about your business.
Yeah, that's the regular course of action right there.
But-
It's not like, hey, you got tinted windows. You must have something illegal in here because you have tinted windows. Let me check it.
I think this is a case
No.
where they were just taking advantage of her ignorance.
Yes.
And
And again, it seems like she probably consented.
she probably consented
to the
because
search.
she's probably ignorant. And I just think that people who do that, people that take advantage of ignorant people and people who don't know their rights, I think that's predatory behavior. I believe that's predatory.
What's interesting to me, though, is that, first of all, the test came back meth, right? So that's interesting. That's very interesting. But then she was arraigned. Judge set a $1 million cash bond. My gosh, that's a very high bond. Of course, she couldn't post that, so she stayed in jail. But then in March, a grand jury indicted her for the charges that were against her. So you're telling me a grand jury, without all the information, because the lab didn't confirm that it was actually methamphetamine. Without that information, it goes to the grand jury. She's in jail on $1 million bond.
Oh, so
And
now,
then days later,
okay, so now we
she's-
have another situation where we just cannot point the finger at the cops.
No, this is the system here.
There's a process
Yes,
that
because-
had to take place
Yes.
for this woman to serve so much time in jail for this. There's a lot of people there's a lot of red tape.
Oh, there's a lot of red tape, man.
There's a lot of red tape that had to be broken through,
Yeah.
right? For this situation to pan out the way it did. It wasn't just the cops.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So they had a lot of backup in this situation.
Look, again, our feelings on the drug war and about people spending time in jail for drug possession or the intent to distribute or whatever like that, our feelings are known. We're against the drug war. We're against incarceration for those offenses, right? But we understand that the law is the laws as it is right now. If you're going to punish somebody or attempt to punish somebody for drug trafficking, possession, or what have you, I would at least set the bar at be sure it is what you say it is before said person is imprisoned. That's a pretty low bar.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about just even the circumstances surrounding how they found this supposed methamphetamine, look at the bag it was in. Look how big the bag was.
It looked like a cotton candy bag.
It looked like a big ass cotton candy bag. Like normally when meth is distributed, it's distributed in smaller bags, not huge bags like that.
That's a cotton candy bag now.
So that is a cotton candy bag. And the issue here is the police are looking for a positive result no matter what. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they are probably not even interested in, I guess, considering whether there's a false positive or not. They just want to be the next Hank Schroeder. That's all they want.
That's it. And so Fincher now, she's out of jail. This happened last year. But she's now suing, as she should be, as I believe she should be, and she should get every penny that she's looking for. But she's suing the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, 2 sheriff's deputies, and Searchy, who is the manufacturer of the test that we noted. So again, this is from the appeal. Manufactured by forensic kit maker Searchy, the roadside drug tests were responsible for at least 145 false positives in Georgia in 2017. An investigation by Atlanta's Fox affiliate found. NARC 2 produced the highest number of false positives, 64, in methamphetamine tests, according to the Fox investigation.
Interesting enough, there was a ProPublica article 2 years ago, like December of 2016, which highlighted the overvalued reliability of these tests.
These roadside tests.
Roadside tests. Guess what company was featured in that article?
I'm going to go out on another one
Go out.
and say Searchy.
Yes, that was the same company that this article was highlighting. The same company whose test kit was used in Daisha's case.
So
Now, go ahead, man.
So again, we talked about red tape. We talked about a whole system, a whole like streamlined process that failed Daisha, right? Mm-hmm. So we have evidence here that these roadside tests, false positives, dealing with this specific NARC2 device, all of this. How is it that this test is able to sustain an indictment from a grand jury? How are they able to get an indictment by using this particular test? Because if the Fox affiliate found out this information that, hey, you know, there's a problem with this certain type of roadside test, it's actually administering all these false positives, there's a problem here. If they know it, then you're damn sure that Searchy knows it, and you're damn sure that the police departments know it as well. You're damn sure that DAs know it as well. So again, if all of this is known, then how in the world are you using these tests to keep people in prison? Again, if you want to use it as some initial testing or something like that to like maybe confiscate it and say like, okay, well, you know what, we're gonna, hey, this is a positive, we're gonna have to confiscate this, do some more testing on it. If it's found to be positive, we're gonna have to come back and get you. She lost more than 3 months of her life being incarcerated because she couldn't get the money. She didn't have that very high cash bond to post it. Definitely she's reflecting on that. One of her daughters had a miscarriage while she was in. I believe she had 2 grandbabies that were born at the time while she was in. You can't get that time back. Like I said, it might not be the best idea. It might not be like the best. I'm just spitballing here. Like I said, it might not be the best idea to be like, okay, we're going to do this test. And if it comes out positive, we're going to confiscate it. And then we're going to do some further testing. That might not be the best idea because, again, like we don't know what they're confiscating. Like, hey, that's mine. I need that. All right. So it might not be the best idea, but I do know that it's better than being in prison for 3.5 months.